the sun. To dream, believe in strength, now I'm the only one. Only one. I was an ordinary boy until I broke the rules, my life destroyed. My life destroyed. Until I woke awake, scream my mind, I shout, the ground shakes. How much can I take? My mind will break. Will it break? Can I take? Can I be your superhero? Fly away. It's the first time of today. Today. To dream, believe. You are the strength, you're all I need. Need. Oh, gonna give it a shot. Only one of me to shield you all from the enemy. You're a superhero. You're a superhero.
All right, and moving on. The action is pretty intense right now. Clipmaker taking the flag, so does Jan. That's going to be a return from both sides. Actually, no, Marvelous is making that smart move to hold the flag there so Mafia can't take it, so Jan can spawn and start killing him. That is a return. Clipmaker takes him out. Jan going against Viking and Twins. Mafia uses the health pack, both going at each other. Looks like Twins personally is I don't know. I mean, Twins with Viking seems to be doing much better compared to Ricochet. However, Marvelous is now pulling the flag. Mafia dropping it off to Clipmaker. Marvelous getting have a health pack. Ooh, but good shot by Jan. Takes him out. Marvelous is home free to take that capture, and boom, there's that capture, making the score 1-1. And you can see that full supplies are on, so they're just going to constantly use full supplies, go for it, and now Clipmaker making a push on the blue base, taking the flag, going against Jan. Two ricochets at each other. Health pack being used. Jan might have used it a little bit too early there. Gets killed. Clipmaker now pulling the flag. However, he literally is like one shot away from dying. And now it's Mafia with Marvelous. Good move by Marvelous, keeping him up there. However, he still gets taken out. Mafia dies. Jan going for the return. Is Clipmaker going to spawn in time? Nope. That's going to be a return. And there you go. Yeah, Sandbox. I mean, personally, when we talk about Sandbox, I love Sandbox because, first of all, you know, when you look at it, it's like one side really doesn't have an advantage over the other to an extent. Obviously, you know, the house can be argued and the wall in the blue base can be argued right there. So you have an extra cover. But personally, it's, you know, it's relatively even. And, you know, I personally like, you know, how the Sandbox map is. But, you know, you guys can go ahead and put in the chat, you know, what your guys' opinions are. But just now, there was another capture for the blue team. Once again, Jan doing really smart move. He realizes when he's low, he uses his ricochet effect to actually make himself self-destruct. And now Mafia pulling the flag. Got shot up pretty good there, but that is a capture, making the score 2-2. Coordination-wise, it looks both teams are relatively coordinated, both doing pretty good. Clipmaker going against Marvelous again. Ricochet on Twins, and looks like Twins is going to prevail at the end. That's a return, making the third capture for Jan. Yeah, honestly, pretty exciting so far. I mean, it's just been action-packed. You know, we're not really seeing any standoffs. It's just capture after capture after capture. One side gets it, then the other. One side gets it, then the other. And you can see right now it scores 3-3 again, with red team getting another capture. Mafia and Jan going at it. Ricochet and Ricochet, Twins and Twins. Mafia hits that, gets it. Now going against Marvelous with no supplies, and Jan just spawns right there, so he's going to get taken out. Marvelous using that splash damage effect to make himself self-destruct. Very smart move. Very smart move. And now Jan and Mafia going at it. Personally, I got to say, when I look at it, Twins is much better than Ricochet, at least as far as I'm looking at it, especially on Sandbox, because unless you're in the center, the Ricochet effect, you know, you really cannot use it, because when you look at the walls, the outside, the Ricochet literally just bounces off, you know, going up in the air off the land, the land, compared to the concrete in the middle. Marvelous making a push on the flag. So is Clipmaker and Mafia. Both going at it. Ooh, Jan spawns right there, so we'll see what's going to happen. Right now, you know, I honestly don't know who's going to win. It's really hard to predict right now, but go ahead and put in the chat who you guys who's going to win. Leave a comment. Clipmaker self-destructs in his base, leaving his flag right there. Marvelous also using his Twins splash damage to his advantage. Jan drops the flag, goes to the center, but Mafia comes in. Jan is going to need to block Mafia from that return. Clipmaker saving his supplies. That's very smart until he actually needs to use them, which now it looks like he does have to against Jan. Marvelous has a good defense against Mafia. And now we're at a standoff. Now we are. But Marvelous and Clipmaker going at it. Ooh, Marvelous got really low there. Drops it off to Jan, going after it. Twins on Twins. Ricochet on Ricochet. Let's see what's going to happen here. Oh, well. Both ganged up on one. And now it's Clipmaker against Jan. But Clipmaker loses his supplies. Definitely not good. Jan leaves it to Marvelous. goes to push on Mafia, who, well, yeah, who leaves the flag in the red base for Clipmaker to take once he spawns. Definitely good coordination, I gotta say that. I mean, the coordination there is it's definitely there. I mean, they're coordinating. They know when to drop the flag. They know when to use the supplies. They know when to self-destruct. Definitely, both teams are doing really well right now. But honestly, I mean, it's just been a big standoff. I mean, both honestly at this point, both of them, yep, both of them are gonna go for it, and that's what I was about to say. Both of them are kind of gonna have to go for it in order to get a return, and that's what they're doing right now. Flag gets dropped for Jan, but Clipmaker has no supply, so he's gonna back off, and now Jan and Marvelous both on low health. Jan just pretty much uses his ricochet effect, self-destruct. Marvelous is very low right now. However, yeah, Jan spawns right there. He's going to take that. And now Marvelous self-destructs. Good move. Noticing that, I'm noticing that much more from them. They're definitely like doing that self-destruct effect to their advantage, and the splash damage especially, and or the ricochet effect. Now Clipmaker and Mafia against Jan. We might see something here. Both kind of flanking them. Jan uses the health pack, but that's not going to be enough. Marvelous gets the worst spawn all the way on the other side of the map. However, he is closer to the flag, but I don't know how well that's going to work out. Twins on Ricochet could be a return, but he backs off. Personally, I would have continued to attack Clipmaker to at least get the return, to buy some more time. Jan makes a push on Clipmaker, who has no double armor whatsoever, but he drops the flag off from Mafia, and now Marvelous is in his base all alone with about half health. That was pretty close. Honestly, I think the game kind of turned if, instead of just, instead of Marvelous just taking the flag and running away with it, if he continued to damage Clipmaker, he probably would have been able to get a return for his team and then kind of start the pavement fresh all over again. But Jan and Clipmaker going at it with Marvelous. He's going in all alone. Not a smart move, especially with the flag, but both were relatively low, hence why he did not do as much as... That's why the blue side wasn't able to do as much as they probably wanted to. Now, ooh, close return. Drops it off to Jan. Twins on Ricochet action. Jan going with Mafia. This is close. Jan uses his health back too early right there, and he's going to have to back off and drop it off to Marvelous. Jan running through the center, but not going to get that return. Mafia making a push, but has no supplies whatsoever. Marvelous uses that. Ooh, very low on health, but with 30 seconds left, I think it's going to be safe to say that this round is going to be a tie, hence making the score 3-3. Well, 15 seconds left. It could change right now, but not looking that promising. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this round is going to be 3-3 for Team Jan and Team Clipmaker, with the assistance of Marvelous and Mafia. And boom, there's the round. Looking at stats, well, everybody had lower than a 1.0 DL, but both teams did really well. I got to say, both were very coordinated. Both knew exactly what they were doing. They know exactly when to self-destruct, when to drop the flag, where to go, what to do. So definitely say the coordination was good. So yeah, that first round was exciting. Also, for everybody who is just joining us, we are streaming the Duet Masters Plasma Fights, and I am English commentator kenanahmed. I am here alone today, unfortunately. And we are streaming the match of Team Jan versus Team Clipmaker in the the beautiful playoffs. So whoever wins this is going to move on to the quarterfinals, as far as I know, to verse Team Stick or actually no, excuse me, Team Drama or Team TR Andrew. So that's going to be exciting to see. But looking at least Team Jan's history, they've done really good in the past. You got to look at this one factor right here, which is Team Jan. At first, when they started off, they versed X Guardian, beating them 4-0, and then going on to verse Team 404, where they prevailed 3-0, and then going against Team Legend, where the score was pretty close, 2-3, and now they moved on. And then when we look at Team Clipmaker, well, they have kept their enemies, or actually opponents, at a pretty low level. First versing Mosaid 11, 0-4, then versing Team Sunshine 0-4 once again, and Tellman 777 0-3. So both teams are you know, they've made it pretty far, and they have definitely done some damage out there, and you know, making it into the playoffs. Well, that's a decent accomplishment. Um, but yeah, I gotta say that you know both teams they're doing really good. Um, and once again, we are doing the plasma format. So for anybody who does not know what that is, that pretty much all the turrets that are allowed are ricochet and twins. Modules are not allowed whatsoever. The hulls that you have that are allowed is Wasp, Hornet, Hunter, Viking, and Dictator. We are on Sandbox today, and yeah, well, it's going to be capture the flag. Bonus boxes are on. Supplies are on. Smart supplies are off. Friendly fire off. Micro upgrades are off. Alterations are on, so that can definitely change the outcome of the game to an extent. It does not give you an advantage, but it depends on how skilled the player is with that said alteration, and changes are on. So, going at it, well, you know, they're already doing pretty good. Both teams going at each other. Marvelous already, well, pulled the flag. Both teams really started out really quick. Within the first minute, both teams were able to get the first flag. Well, Jan dropping it off to Marvelous. Mafia running with it back to the base. Jan's pursuing him, but has little to no health whatsoever. And yeah, Mafia dropping it off to Clipmaker, who is being very smart right now and conserving his supplies until he actually needs them, in which he uses them now. Clipmaker, Marvelous pushing for him, and also Jan. Would have been better for him to flank, which it looks like he's going to try to do right now, but he's going to be a tad bit too late. Mafia going after Jan. Clipmaker is pretty low on health, and yep, does not have a health pack. Jan has that health pack, uses the health pack, return, and he has to run with that flag real quick. Marvelous is coming after him. If he does not have a health pack, then he's okay. Yeah, there we go, and that's going to be a first capture, making the score 1-2-0 for Team Clipmaker. And now Clipmaker and Jan going against it. Clipmaker pulling the flag, Jan coming after him. Clipmaker using that health pack a little bit too late, to be honest. You know, he was not able to restore enough health in the set amount of time that was needed, and hence he died. But yeah, Mafia and Marvelous both going at it. Marvelous able to now pull the flag. Clipmaker completely just leaves him, but Marvelous now pulling through the center, trying to get a capture here. It looks semi-promising. Clipmaker takes the flag, but Jan and Marvelous are there, and that's going to make the score 1-1 for Team Jan. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty exciting. Now Clipmaker running with the flag, going through the center, should place a mine right there, or might have already. I would have placed the mine right there. But yeah, that is a capture. And that's going to make the score 2-1. So look at that. Both teams going at it. Mafia coming in, gets the clutch kill, and now that's going to be a capture, making the score 3-1. Wow, that was good. A little bit of a comeback right there. Clipmaker and Mafia both making a push. Mafia with no supplies, however. Self-destruct, smart move. Now he's going to spawn there. Marvelous is coming in, but around the time he gets there, oh, okay, well, Mafia spawns all the way on the other side, going against Jan. That does look promising because Jan does not have the health pack. And Marvelous and Clipmaker going at it. Mafia coming through the center, good move, going through the center, trying to flank. Does some damage. Marvelous is very low, but uses the health pack at the right time so he can actually get his full health instead of actually not getting, or compared to only getting 1,000 HP back. So that was a very smart move right there. Jan going after Mafia. Ooh, Mafia loses the supplies, but able to kill Jan in time. Marvelous and Mafia going at it, both self-destruct. That honestly could have been a return for Mafia, in my opinion. If I think he would have potentially made it in time. Go ahead and post a comment, see what you think. I think he might have. But Jan and Mafia, ooh, okay, well, Mafia is in a pretty good position right now, but Marvelous is pushing on him, trying to decide whether to do the center. Jan self-destructs. He could go for the return right now, but personally, he is in a good state, so he's going to hold on to that flag. Marvelous uses the health pack. Mafia, I believe, yep, just uses his health pack so we can actually get full health back. That's a smart time to use your health pack. And now is going at it against Marvelous, but Jan coming from behind, doing that damage. That was a return, but Marvelous running with it, but Clipmaker is in his way. And, yep, he's going to get taken out. Jan and Clipmaker going at it. Two Ricochet players. How are they doing? Well, Mafia comes in, steps in, takes the flag. And Jan and Clipmaker to go at it, but Marvelous spawns right there and is going to be able to help Jan out, who now also has full health. Good. Really, I'm seeing really good use of the health packs. You know, they're using it at the right time when they're not actually being shot at. Hence, that way they can get full health instead of just getting a sliver and then not being able to use it again. So now Jan running away from Clipmaker because Jan only has the double armor. There's a health pack right there. Mafia sitting on the flag. Self-destructs. Jan drops it off to Marvelous. Clipmaker and Marvelous going at it. However, I think Twins will prevail in that one-on-one standoff, in which it looks like it does. Mafia coming from behind on Marvelous, but drops the flag. Good time to drop off the flag for Jan, who now takes it. But Jan and Mafia going at it. That is a return. Clipmaker spot. Ooh, that's got to be a return. That is really close. Yep, that's a return, and that's a clutch capture for Clipmaker. Making the score 4-1 with 4 minutes left. Potential comeback is possible, but with the way Mafia and Clipmaker are playing and their coordination, well, I don't know how easy it's going to be, but anything is possible. It is anybody's game at this point. But Clipmaker and Jan going at it, Mafia also. Honestly, at this point, Mafia and Clipmaker, if they want to just win the round, they only need to defend, but it is also good to continue to go for the offense. Marvelous using his health pack at the right time, taking the flag. Should lay a mine right there, but does not. Would have been a good spot to lay a mine. Ronin trying to get the capture, in which he does. Good move by Jan, blocking his shot, blocking Mafia's shot, so that way Marvelous doesn't get killed. However, everybody is completely pretty much dead right now. Clipmaker spawning, should lay a mine right there, I would say that, but does not. Takes it, drops it off to Mafia, and that's another capture, making the score 2-5. Jan and Marvelous pushing on it. Mafia all alone with the Twins, running away, going to the red base to kind of stall, in which Marvelous and Jan pushing on it, both full health. Clipmaker coming in to back him up, but this is pretty close. Mafia honestly just stood right there, waited for a couple of seconds. I would have continued pushing away, but it did turn out to work somewhat well. Clipmaker and Jan going at it, but doesn't work right now, and both self-destructed, or both at least died around the same time. So Marvelous is coming in. What's going to happen? Mafia spawns right in time to take that flag. Going at it, and somebody placed the mine pretty good there, so Clipmaker did lose a fair amount of health there, about half his health, even with the double armor. Clipmaker going after Jan, who has no supplies. Jan is literally no health right now. Gets killed. Marvelous is going to go for the return, as Clipmaker does not. Good move. I was about to say he should not hold on to that. And yeah, so he does. Marvelous now taking the flag, going through the center. Doesn't work well. Jan coming in right there, but could do some damage. Does take out one. Going against Mafia, uses the health pack, but oof, that was close. Twins and Ricochet both literally no health. Yeah, what do you guys think is more what do you guys think is more powerful in this mode, at least, Twins or Ricochet? Personally, it's looking like Twins is prevailing, at least. I mean, you know, micro upgrades are off, so we can't really say that, you know, somebody may have less micro upgrades compared to the other person. Alterations are obviously on, but it looks like, at least it looks like everybody is using just the standard, at least as far as I see. Yeah, what do you guys think? I mean, personally, like I say, Twins is looking to do much better. Jan, look at Jan using that ricochet effect really, really well to his advantage to ricochet off the wall and hit Mafia with it. Does self-destruct at the right time too, so he can spawn. However, that does cost them a flag, in which Clipmaker is able to come in, take that capture. Marvelous and Jan both making a push. Clipmaker gets taken out. Marvelous about half health with Jan full. Mafia chooses to hide behind the house, which is definitely decent move. Ooh, watch that mine. Ooh, and Clipmaker does avoid that mine. But Mafia has literally no supplies. Pretty much running with the Nitro down to his base. Clipmaker coming to cover him. uses the health pack, should drop the flag right. Yep, they're going to drop the flag right there. Now, both of them are being flanked from both sides, but with 30 seconds, I really doubt they're going to be able to come back, unless they're a hacker. But we have our lovely esports official on the battlefield for that, who I believe is Unknown Angels. Shout out to him. Thank you for being here today, and thank you to the players. With 10 seconds left, well, it looks like that's going to be score 3-6. So this round is going to go to Team Clipmaker. Both teams played pretty well right there. I just had a voice crack. That is very unfortunate. But both teams did pretty well right there. We got to say, like, when you look at it, from when you just look at the gameplay and the way they are playing, you got to think like there's definitely some coordination going on, whether they're using some kind of different platform, but there is coordination going on. They're coordinating pretty well, in my opinion. But yeah, so the first 2 rounds are over. Yeah, it's definitely been something. So the score is now 1-0 for Team Clipmaker, as before. They tied last round. So score is 1-0. Clipmaker taking the lead. And now I believe we are going to be moving on to round 3 out of 4. For everybody who is just joining us, and thank you to everybody who's already here, we are streaming the Duet Masters Plasma Fights. We are in the playoff stage. Team Jan versus Team Clipmaker. Very exciting match. If you just joined once again, feel free to go back later and watch the first 2 rounds, which were really action-packed. But yeah, and whoever wins now is going to move on to verse. It is confirmed now, TOR Andrew in the quarterfinals. TOR Andrew has moved on to the quarterfinals. So Jan or Clipmaker is going to go to verse Andrew. But yeah, both teams have done really well throughout this tournament. And just to run through the format real quick, it is Plasma format. Turrets that are allowed: Ricochet, Twins, Hulls, Wasp, Hornet, Hunter, Viking, and Dictator. No modules are allowed whatsoever. It is Sandbox, Capture the Flag mode, as most of you can see. Bonus boxes are on, supplies are on, smart supplies are off, friendly fire off, micro upgrades off, alterations are on, with overdrives also being off. But, well, both teams are experienced, so it does, I mean, like I said, both are doing pretty well. And yeah, so now they're gonna all start self-destructing, and we're gonna actually move on to the 3rd round. So far, it's pretty exciting. Who do you guys think is gonna win? We got Team Clipmaker, Team Jan, score currently 1-0. And I am reading the chat. I see somebody says Twins is only more powerful at low range. Ricochet dominates at long range. That is true, and I do actually agree with you. But this being a very small map, I would say on this map at least, Twins is pretty powerful. And yes, I do read the chat. Thank you very much. But I have to focus on the battle because shots are already being fired. Action is already happening. Clipmaker and Jan both with the flag, but Jan running after Clipmaker, who has no supplies, kills him. Jan doesn't return. That's a very smart move because he sees Mafia who's coming in. Marvelous and Mafia going at it. Marvelous uses the health pack too early. Mafia kills him. That's a return. Mafia running with the flag, but Jan all by himself, losing his main supplies, only has a double armor now, drops the flag from Marvelous. But Mafia and Clipmaker both coming in, and Marvelous is now pretty much with Jan, but all alone at this point. However, well, Marvelous is half health, but that would be about the same amount of health as Mafia, who has no double armor. However, Mafia drops the flag off to Clipmaker, Marvelous dies, and Jan is all alone. Once again, being very conservative, saving his supplies for when he actually needs them when the action starts, hence, so that way he has the supplies for the longer duration, and he just doesn't use them now when he's not in any action. Jan running after Clipmaker, leaves the flag in his base. Jan and Clipmaker going at it, but Mafia coming in, trying to block. Doesn't work that well, but either way, at the end of the day, Jan still died, and Mafia pulling the flag back to his base, going for the capture, but Marvelous gets the lucky spawn right there, swoops in, takes the flag, both going at it, and, well, Marvelous dies, Mafia returns, but Jan, once again, another threat who does do a fair amount of damage, but running with the flag uses the health pack at the worst time. I personally think he should have waited about one more second, and he probably wouldn't have died, and he would have been able to be at full health right now instead of half. Now, Clipmaker, Marvelous, both going at it. Jan also at the top, who takes the health pack from the red base. Very smart move. However, he has no supplies right now, so he needs to get back to the base as soon as possible. Ooh, almost flips right there. Marvelous, spawns, drops the flag, and that looks like it might be a return. Yep, that is a return by Clipmaker, and that's going to make the score 1-0 for Team Clipmaker. Good capture by Mafia. Coordination is looking really good right now from Team Clipmaker right now. They're doing pretty well. Jan pulling the flag as well as Clipmaker, both going head-to-head. Ricochet on Ricochet, but Marvelous coming after him. He does, I believe he still does have that health pack, which he does use, get to full health. Running behind the house for cover, but that's kind of a corner, but it does work out. And at the end of the day, now we are at a good old-fashioned Mexican standoff. So it is a standoff point again. But yeah, looking pretty good so far. Marvelous does not have any supplies. Once again, Ricochet. Really smart move by Clipmaker, using that Ricochet effect to his advantage. Marvelous now using his supplies, obviously, the fact that he needed it now. And, Mafia. No supplies whatsoever, and Marvelous is going to be able to get him. He is pinned. Jan is running at it. That's going to be a return, and that's a capture, making the score 1-1 for Team Jan. Yeah, look at that. So now Mafia and Marvelous going at it, but yeah, Marvelous is not going to survive that, and Mafia, I believe, still has his health pack, which he uses right now. Very smart move, so that way you come back to full health, and Twins against the Ricochet. Very smart move. Mind placement by Jan right there. If he did not place that, I'm pretty sure that could have went the other way around, and Mafia would have probably been pulling the flag right now. Marvelous making a push, but he's all by himself. You know, in this match, you know, you can talk about teamwork. You know, like, there is coordination. You know, there is teamwork to an extent. But when we're talking about 3 versus 3 and up, you know, we talk about, you know, myself. I mainly also focus on attacking together. You know, when the teams are attacking together in a way, because, you know, when you attack together, it's much more efficient. But in this case, you kind of only have one person who pulls the flag while one defends, or one person tries to get the other person from getting their flag. And speaking of which, while that happened, the score did increase 2-2 right now. Mafia making that push, no health though, and Clipmaker versus Marvelous. Well, Jan spawns right there, and Clipmaker's not going to make it that far, even though Mafia spawns right there and is going to be able to give him some cover. He's going to try and pull the flag, but he's not going to get that far, personally. Oh, wait, that's close. Nope, Jan has that health back, but Clipmaker spawns right there. He gets killed, but that's going to be a capture, making the score 3-2 for Team Clipmaker. Look at that. And now Clipmaker and Marvelous going at it over there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Both teams are really well matched, honestly. And, you know, it doesn't look easy for one team. It does look like they're trying, and it does look like, you know, they're trying to fight to get into the quarterfinals, because eventually, if they pass the quarterfinals, they will move on to the semifinals. And, well, from there, you know, you're pretty much already guaranteed getting a prize. And, you know, obviously for that first place position with the gladiator paint, yeah, it's pretty competitive. So, score still being 3-2. Jan pushing. He only uses a nitro. Notice that. That's very smart. I like the tactic of doing that. However, he runs over a mine. Should take that health pack right there, which he does do. Mafia going around the house, pinning himself in a corner. If both were to attack from every side right now, which it looks like it's about to happen, that could be, it wouldn't work that well for Mafia, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Flag gets dropped, flag gets picked up. Clipmaker has the flag now against Jan. So, you know, it's looking pretty close right now. Jan dropping the flag for Marvelous. And yeah, there you go. Clipmaker coming after him, but nope, Marvelous is still full health. Drops the flag, going for Mafia. Twins on twins action. Who's going to get it? Well, it looks like Mafia was able to do a lot more damage compared to Marvelous. I guess there could be something involving an alteration in that aspect, but not 100% sure. Now, Jan has the flag, but really low on health. Actually, both people are really low on health. Marvelous, not the right time. Personally, I would say that was not the right time for Marvelous to actually use his splash damage effect on himself, because now that's actually going to result in a capture for Team Clipmaker, making the score 4-2. I personally, if I were him, I would have definitely stayed and actually tried to help take out the enemy before actually self-destructing, because since he was that close. And obviously, when you factor in the amount or the amount of time it takes to spawn, well, either way, it was going to be a capture. So either way, though, score is 4-3. Mafia making a push with Jan also making a push at the same time, both going at it. Jan uses his health pack right now so he can get to full health. Smart move. Mafia pulling through the center. So is Jan. Everybody's in the center right now, all four sides. Clipmaker going against Marvelous. Jan pulling the flag. Ooh, that's not looking good. Clipmaker and Mafia making a push. Both pretty much at full health. Jan gets cornered. That's not good, but ooh, that's also smart at the same time, because his tank, so-called Carcass, is going to be there for a few seconds before it despawns. Hence, so it does block the opponent from actually getting in there and actually returning it. And it did prevail in the end, because Marvelous was able to kill him, so he didn't get the return and continue with the standoff. Jan going against Clipmaker. However, Mafia is still there, so he does choose to back off, which is wise. Drops the flag from Marvelous. Clipmaker coming through the right side. Mafia having about half health, but just uses health pack. I think Jan, yep, he does have a health pack right there, which he does take, and I believe his health pack is still there for him to use. But Clipmaker also coming in with the spawn, so doesn't look that promising. Marvelous leaves the flag in the base. However, Clipmaker getting a little bit, he's going for the return, which he does get it, but I believe it's going to cost him the flag right there. Oh, maybe not. Wow, yeah, look at that. Mafia, yep, gives it to Mafia, and Mafia is going to get that capture if he can maneuver. And yeah, he does, and gets the capture, making the score 5-3 with 40 seconds left. I don't know, guys. I think this is going to go to Clipmaker for this round. I mean, I don't know, unless somebody's a hacker, but, I always say that, but, that's not allowed. That's how you get banned. So Clipmaker going against Marvelous, taking the flag. Maybe Jan can get in the last minute capture, but I don't think they're going to be able to get 2 flags in the next 10 seconds. So, yep, Marvelous taking the flag. Jan pushing for the return. 8 seconds. You can get that capture. Oh, yep, that's a capture. 5-4. Last minute capture doesn't help as much, because either way they still lose the round. However, good play by both teams. They were still able to get the captures, and they were still able to pretty much have that match to them. So good job to Team Clipmaker. Now they're going to move on to the quarterfinals. 2 versus Team TR Andrew, who actually just beat Team Drama 0-4. And yeah, looks like they're going to have a challenge ahead of them, because 0-4 in the, or at least that's what it says in the grid. That could be wrong and might not be updated yet, but just stay tuned to the grid and follow that. But once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We're going to be ending it here. I have been English commentator Kenanahmed. Thank you, all of you, for being here today. And thank you to our broadcaster, Unknown Angels, and our referee. And follow the tournament and stay tuned for future live streams. And we will catch you on the battlefield.